All right, welcome to Empower Network, Stevie Marie. I'm not
Thank you for
sure where
having
to
me.
start. We were just laughing. So, Stevie Marie, can we just let people know a bit about like an overarch of who you are? Because you're very interesting, and I just appreciate you being here just from the 1 or 2 minutes we chatted. So, can you give them an overview of who you are, what you do, and then we're going to jump into your story to whatever extent you want. Does that work for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
First and foremost, thank you so much for having me today and taking the time. I love being able to just show up and collaborate and connect with other purpose-driven entrepreneurs. I personally believe that it is our responsibility as um, the newest wave of freedom thought leaders to collectively band together so that we can help elevate the frequency within humanity so we can help awaken the collective. And I believe that entrepreneurship is the vehicle in which to do that. A little bit about my background. So I have been an entrepreneur for a couple of decades. I have 20 years of experience in sales and leadership development. I have literally done anything and everything. Most people look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, you are correct. Because I've literally, I've done anything and everything that you could possibly imagine, which is great. And I highly encourage people to do things quickly, see what you like, see what you don't like. This is about being in alignment and stepping into our full power. So I've done everything from door to door network marketing, B2B, C2C. I've sold insurance. I've sold vehicles for Chrysler Canada. I've led massive sales organizations for telecommunication companies up here in Canada. And I have been building my brand, The Redesigned Empire, full-time online for the last 5 years. I heavily focus on mindset, marketing, and sales alongside with influence and leadership development. And it's like the best time.
Like, does the party follow you wherever you go?
Yeah, I would say so, because I believe that we need to be a light in people's lives, and we want to be making a long-lasting, unforgettable impression.
What is your okay? So I gotta ask about your mother or your father. What do they? If they were to sit your parents down and they were to say, "This is our Stevie," what would they say? How would they describe you?
Well, that's a tricky question because I don't have parents.
Okay.
I do, but I don't. Very much
Okay.
considered a black sheep within my family. So I'm like adopted, but I'm not. So I guess my non-bio parents would say something along the lines of, "There's only one Stevie in the world, and we have her in this family."
Okay. So how did you become okay? 6-year-old Stevie. What was
Yeah,
6-year-old Stevie doing? What were you up to?
bossing people around. I was bossing people around. My cousins, putting on performances, plays, coordinating, orchestrating the whole entire
You were
event.
putting on
Um,
plays and performances at 6 years
oh,
old.
oh yeah,
Do you guys have any of these on video? Probably not.
probably not. That would have been way back in the camera days.
You realize that like everyone under 28 does not know what you just did? They do
Probably.
not know what you just did.
I
The,
barely know what
the
I just
phone
did.
thing, the phone thing. Remember the
Yeah,
phone thing, the rotary phone?
yeah, it was so fun.
Okay, so what are the because you're unapologetically you. That's obvious. Okay.
Thank you.
You got a sleeve going on down your arm.
I
Okay,
do.
so okay, what's on
Yeah.
your sleeve for those that are
So this is my higher self. So she's my goddess.
okay.
Um, and then I've got my moon symbols on the back. This is a Celtic knot. So there is no beginning, there is no end. We are eternal type thing. Roses are my favorite. And then I have a quote here from Da Vinci: "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens." So that's kind of what we're all about, is kind of helping people to awaken to their full potential.
Can you say that again? Who looks outside?
Yep. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens.
Okay. All right. So let's just go into more of how do you think how you think and why do you think how you think? Where do your mindsets come from? Because to do the stuff you've done, you have let yourself you've given yourself permission. How did you give yourself permission?
That's a really good question. So just a little bit about my story really quick. So I am 36 years old. I have 3 children. My children are 19, 16, and 6. So I had my first daughter at the age of 17. I never graduated from high school. I technically have a grade 9 education, and this is why I got started in sales, because I needed something that was going to provide me with flexibility. And, I technically wasn't qualified. I'm very qualified now, but I technically wasn't qualified to be doing anything significant, right? So, pardon me, I'm very, very huge, and I'm a massive advocate for personal development. It is the catalyst of all growth. We can work and do the things and make a paycheck, but when we work on ourselves and elevate that mindset to just higher levels of consciousness, we can create massive impacts alongside, with us, but more importantly with humanity as a whole. So I would have to say that, my career is very much self-driven. My mindset, I've been forced into this because I believe I've been chosen to a certain degree to lead from, the front lines. So yeah, my mindset basically just comes from, connecting with wonderful people like you. Being connected to other people's networks is very powerful, alongside with people being connected to mine. Going to events is a game changer for anybody. And I'm very, very selective in who I choose to spend my time with, because I want to be surrounded by elevated individuals. And I would say that that definitely is one of the main reasons why I am the way I am and where I am today. Does that make sense?
It does, but how did you get there? How did you cross over? Did you ever struggle in life with, how did you give yourself permission to go, I want to hang out with the eagles and not the turkeys?
Because, well, I play with a couple of different words. So I believe that legendary is the only way to be, and we don't have time to play in peasant status whatsoever. So I guess just giving myself full permission would be that I am here to break generational curses, and I am here to shift and elevate my own personal lineage. My kids are some of my biggest inspirations, especially my daughters. So, I just feel like I'm obligated, and with that just has come consistency and taking action. And then I just habits and rituals, and here I am today. But yes, it's very hard. It wasn't easy by any means. I kind of had like an awakening a few years ago as well. I have been divorced twice, so yay for me. But the last time that I left my second husband, who is the father of my son, my youngest child, I left him in December of 2019, and then we went right into COVID. So that really, really, really shifted me very significantly, where it just came from a place of being like, it's time to love yourself instead of leaning into loving everybody else for the acceptance that you are worthy to show up and be in your full, most beautiful, authentic self. And that was very painful, but yeah, that's what we did.
And you're saying it with a smile. So were you always smiling? Have you always been smiling through this stuff?
I've always been a pretty outgoing person. Through the catalyst of myself awakening. I can't even tell you how many times I have fallen on my knees in this exact room and screamed at the top of my lungs for the pain to be taken away from me. So yeah, there was a time that it was very dark, but at the end of the day, we get to choose if we want to be miserable or if we want to just embrace all things life. And, I think it's a true gift to be alive every single day. Like, I love life. I wish I could live to be 500 years old. Sometimes I think I am 500 years old, but I just wish I could live forever. I think life is cool.
Well, I love your attitude. I love your
Thanks.
perspective. So in terms of people you're working with, who are you working with? Who do you want to attract? Who have you been attracting? Where are you going?
Yeah, for sure. So I primarily work with digital entrepreneurs that are building brand and awareness in their businesses online. I have a really expansive brand, so I believe in the niche to a certain degree. I believe that we are multi-dimensional entrepreneurs. I think everybody has that capability within themselves. to serve a mass collective, and then obviously niching down more accordingly to how we can support them. I am working with anybody that is basically working in the online space, affiliate marketers, network marketers, coaches, consultants, agency owners, yeah, just, you know, thought leaders basically. So that's who I love to work with. And where I am going, to the moon.
Some would say you'd be the first one there ever.
I agree. I'm not sure how we're getting there, but where there's a will, there's a way, and we'll figure it out, because that's what entrepreneurship is. It's an opportunity to solve problems.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you enjoy solving problems then?
I love it. I love talking to people. I love talking on stages. I love just, you know, yeah. How can we solve problems, and how can we just make life better for everybody else? There's a lot of people in this very significant amount of pain. There's a lot of people that have been heavily conditioned and programmed. And I just believe that it is our responsibility as, you know, conscious beings to help be very disruptive in that space. And I'm all about being disruptive, right? So, yeah.
Okay, clearly I'm looking at the grin. Your grin got bigger when you said that part. So everyone's like, okay, I'm feeling what she's saying.
Yeah.
Awesome. So where else are we going to go with this? Like, I want to ask you more your story. Now, you've said some of your story, but are there any important parts that maybe for people that are curious, and any other ways that of connecting with you? Like, you seem really polished and shiny and happy right now. And I'm like, that's amazing. Like, I want to get more there. But I want to make it a little more real. I want to bring it, because you're real today, but I'd like to help tie in 6-year-old Stevie to who you are today. And, you know, you've alluded to getting on your knees and crying and stuff like that. What were some secrets you learned during those dark moments? So people have takeaways, because there's some people that are really struggling right now. They want to own who they are, and they're not always sure, how do I know who I am? How do I know this is really me? Because there's a wavering that can take place when you're trying to find your lane. Is this really my lane, or is this another way of pleasing others? How do you reconcile that?
That's a good question. I'm really big into frequency, and I believe that emotions are our guidance system. So for people to start being more in tune with their body, because, you know, thoughts create an emotion, emotion will create a reaction, and that reaction is going to create an action, and we have consequences with actions. So there was a time that I didn't pay attention to that, and it was basically me self-abandoning myself on a regular and a consistent basis, always trying to people please, trying to be accepted for somebody that I totally was not, which basically led to the death of my egotistical soul. So now what it's all about is I lean into things on purpose that make me feel good. I'm very physically active. I'm constantly surrounding myself with very elevated people. I love intellectual conversations. I even from a creative standpoint of being a content creator and just a business owner, I really lean into a lot of that as well. So my biggest piece of advice for people that are struggling is that if you are feeling low vibrations, anger, frustration, disappointment, anxiety, depression, anything like that, that really keeps you low, like, you know, low vibe 3D type stuff, we need to shift something, whether it's your environment primarily, right? Because we can't actually grow outside of our physical environment. So that's really important, just to be mindful, to be like, is this environment supporting myself to go to my next level, or is it hindering my ability to move forward? And then really setting some firm boundaries and being like, no, I will not do that. No, I will not hang out here. No, I do not agree. And just whatever that kind of looks like. So yeah, it's about embracing your full authentic self and leaning into your power and being unapologetic about who you are and where it is that you're going. The right tribe will always find you. And in fact, the faster that we can let go of things that do not make us feel high vibration, like love, joy, fulfillment, excitement, enthusiasm, passion, purpose driven, if we're not in that space, in that realm, your body will tell you, and it's going to be up to those people if they're going to listen to it or not. because we'll just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until we break it somewhere. So yeah.
Wow, love your steel mindset. It's inspiring.
Thank you.
For just thanks for being you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, what else you want to talk about? Because I'm just enjoying listening to you, Stevie.
Well, I don't know. Do you want to talk about different types of corn that we make here in Tabor, Alberta? Just kidding.
Yeah. Before we got on Alberta, they're having corn festival, and I was asking Stevie, what does that involve? Like, you just sit around eating, everyone just eats 16 corn on the cob?
Yeah, people eat corn, you know, that's about it. But it's a really good time.
Okay, it's a really good. Well, I don't know what I don't know what else to ask you. You've already unloaded on us with great value, because just how you're showing up, you're just demonstrating healthy mindsets.
Yeah, well, the thing is that for anybody that desires to lead, you have to be able to lead yourself first before you can lead a collective mass of other human beings and create influence, because leadership and influence go hand in hand. You can't have influence without leadership. So in order for us to be that positive force of light in a world that very much we are at war with light and darkness. I am very spiritual, by the way. So I personally believe that there are a significant amount of things that are completely beyond our control. And it is a waste of energy to try and control everything that you absolutely have no control over. So the number one thing that we have control over is ourselves, period. And if we are intentional about our own growth, mind, body, and soul, right? If we're intentional around that, you will receive abundance, and you will manifest, and you will have a life of fulfillment and excitement and love for all things that you do. But people need to make the decision to be like, I am worth it. I am worth the fight. You know, going to the gym, I always go back to like the physical body, because you can shift your whole entire reality if you shift your physical being, your vessel of, you know, your soul per se. So yeah, I don't know. That's my biggest piece of advice for people is, if you don't like the reality that you're currently in, you did it to yourself, and it is your responsibility to change it. So
Yeah, no, it's true. I see it in my own life. As much as I want to sometimes complain about this, or it's like, no, I created this. So what can I learn? What can I do? It's the quickest way out. I find it is the painful way out. It's initially very painful, but it gets the pain over with, because it's like, okay, but I can take ownership, full responsibility, shift it, as opposed to blaming, pushing off, and then the pain lasts forever.
Well, when we blame other things, circumstances, people, you know, our childhood, our parents, whatever, you're literally giving your power away. Like literally, because at the end of the day, like it's not even relevant. Like it doesn't matter, you know? One of my favorite sayings, actually, and I lean into this very intentionally.
Lost the audio. Last I heard was I lean into this intentionally, and there was a big tease.
Yeah, sorry, there was my phone got broken up there. I love turning pain into power. I'm obsessed with it.
Okay, so let's end on that. How do you turn pain into power?
If I'm like, this is painful, this is trying to teach me something. So I'm going to utilize that energy, because, for instance, anger and passion create the same emotion within the body. Anger is destructive. Passion is constructive. So we get to choose. Are we going to be destructive with our pain, or are we going to utilize that energy and be constructive with it?
All right. Oh, great takeaway. Stevie Marie, thank you for being here at Empower Network TV. This is a great way to start my morning, with coffee and protein powder with Stevie Marie, who is a good time. In case those of you that didn't know, she is a good time.
I'm a good time.
You are a good time. There you go. Someone that's brave enough to say that needs to be high five. Boom, high five. All right.
Thank you.
If you've been listening, watching to Empower Network TV, and you are inspired or would like to connect with Stevie, I'm going to be tagging her in this interview. Now, Stevie, you're in the group, right? I can tag you. Is it Stevie Marie?
For sure, I am.
Is
Yeah,
that
thank
Stevie
you for having me.
Marie's? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
Yep.
I'll be tagging you, and then I'll message you after this to send you recordings later on today. So look for
Sure.
those messages. And thanks for
Thank
being
you.
here, Stevie. This is a real joy.
Thank you.
Okay, chat soon.